The sport of wrestling is one that takes immense technical skill, intense physical conditioning, and mental endurance. As the Harrison Wildcats work to hone their skills for the next match, the walls of the wrestling room mark the achievements of the past, and someday the name Chloe Deerwester may join them.
It means a lot to me because I'm a freshman right now, so when I'm a senior, it's just going to be history. I just want to do something big.
During a meet against Loveland, Chloe became the first girl to win a varsity wrestling match in school history.
For Chloe to be able as a freshman to start a varsity match, win a varsity match, it's extremely important to, I think, girls in the sport.
Winning is nothing new for Deerwester, who's been wrestling since she was 10 years old. But the match, significant in a sport that's seen major growth in popularity for girls. As practice comes to an end for the Wildcats and the wrestlers are drained of their final ounces of energy, the day's work isn't done yet for Deerwester because she's not the only one making history at Harrison this season.
This was a year that we knew, with Chloe coming in, who's been so good for so long, that this was the year that we were going to start a girls team.
For the first time in school history, there are two Wildcat wrestling teams, one for the boys and one made up of all girls. Chloe wrestles with both.
So it's kind of like difficult because the boys are stronger, so you have to be more technical, but the girls are more like technical, so you have to like match their like technicality.
For her, the growth level, she needs to wrestle with the boys because she needs to be pushed to that level. But now for girls all across the state to have an outlet to wrestle other girls, I think that's the most important piece of what's going on right now.
In the state of Ohio alone, over 500 girls are competing in wrestling this season, with several schools across the state able to field full teams.
Really, in the winter, you have basketball, cheerleading, and some schools might have like swimming. All those girls are looking for another opportunity.
Vanessa Oswald has been involved in wrestling since she was a kid. Her career on the mat saw success winning national championships and competing on the world stage. Now an assistant coach at Olentangy Orange, Oswald, along with a group of coaches and parents, are leading the charge to sanction girls wrestling in the state of Ohio.
Right now, the biggest thing, one, creating opportunity for girls because, yeah, they can wrestle on the boys team. However, how are we creating that opportunity to allow them to compete against their own gender?
Sanctioning the sport would provide those teams and competitors with the same funding and tournament organization as the boys state tournament receives every spring at the Schottenstein Center. What is the next step to getting this sport officially sanctioned?
So we still have hopes that we can get this sanctioned next year. OHSA has really taken a hit financially.
Sport is growing really fast, and I think as we get more and more and more girls into it, then there's going to be plenty of opportunities for girls to wrestle girls, and then that's going to push the state to sanction it.
In a sport that dates back to the early days of civilization, stories like Chloe Deerwester's win are becoming increasingly common. But across the nation, numbers for wrestling are down, yet girls wrestling continues to grow, giving hope that maybe someday the sport will have boys and girls grappling on equal footing.
I feel like if I'm here and I'm training in this room every day, I should get the same respect that everyone else does. So.